Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bitcoin and Chill podcast. I'm your host, Faisal, and my co host, Marco, over here. And we have Zina Ashour, who's the founder of Women in Crypto Arabia. Welcome, Zina.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Of course, me and Zina, we go way back. I've known her for at least 8 years. We'll talk about the journey and everything we went through in crypto, the ups and downs, obviously. But yeah, first of all, Zina, tell us more about you, non-crypto related, I would say. Who's Zina?
Oh, we're starting with the tough questions
Yeah, tough
already.
question.
Let's talk about crypto first, no?
It's supposed to be Bitcoin and chill. It's not an interview, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's kick it
So,
off. Yeah.
okay. Um, I am Palestinian Jordanian. I moved to Dubai, I think around 12 years ago or so.
Been a while.
Yeah. I have something for building stuff and turning ideas into reality. So I built multiple startups before, and I really enjoy experimenting with that. Um,
Do you come from like I know that, but maybe more details from the marketing background or
yeah, from a
e-commerce
marketing background. I have a master's degree in marketing management as well, but my BA degree was something completely different. It was hospitality and management, so
Yeah.
that was a different thing. But I thought, like, when I started my career, I was mainly in sales at the beginning, which I really loved and I enjoyed
Okay.
big time,
Yeah.
until I passed through this ethical phase where, what am I selling? Because I know I was good at it, but at the end, I wanted to be more cautious and more aware of what I'm selling. So I stopped that and started building my own things, which I believed in.
So true.
So,
They say
yeah.
you're always the product of the product, right? So
And that's maybe the thought that differentiates, a good seller from an excellent seller, right? I
Yeah.
really love to hear this.
yeah.
But how did you get your way into crypto from this background?
Yeah, so as I told you, I have interest in developing and creating things and turning ideas into reality. So I think in 2017, 2018, I was approached by a team of founders to create multiple solutions built on blockchain. And at that time, it was very interesting to me. I didn't have any idea about what blockchain, but the idea we were working on was something very related to startups and entrepreneurs and so on. So I really liked that idea. So I joined the team as a co-founder, and we built many solutions together. Starting, like, we've done non-custodial wallets, we've had payment solutions, we've experimented with tokenization for real estate, and the list goes on, to be honest. But at that time, seriously, when I started, I had no idea what is blockchain. I had no idea what is crypto. My background was startups and marketing. But the idea of decentralization, the idea of giving people the power, and me, I consider myself a rebel. So that was something that, this is something that
And financial
everyone,
freedom as well.
everyone should be talking about, everyone should be developing, should understand it more. And then I started basically to learn more. I took so many courses in crypto and metaverse, NFTs, blockchain basics, and so on. And I started investing myself as well.
Yeah, that's when we met,
Yeah.
2018, when you guys were working on this project, and I came in as well, and I felt me and Zina were at the beginning of it, and we were learning together because it's a new world, and there were no teachers at our time, I believe, There was basically, like
Yeah,
five influencers on YouTube explaining what blockchain is. And
Yeah, it
everything.
was a little bit the wild west of technology world. And no rules were there, and
Yeah.
everything was a little bit wild. But you said one very interesting thing in there. So when you joined all of this very interesting new field, it got you excited. But you said you didn't understand blockchain yet. Still, you wanted to do it somehow. So what would you say should be the level for someone to get into crypto? Can it be without any knowledge, just by pure excitement?
Of course, that's the beauty of it. To be honest, the crypto in general, it's something new still. It's still relatively new in comparison to other domains, right, and other industries. So the learning curve is there, and everyone is learning. We cannot say that there is an expert in this until this point, because every day there's something new. If you open any news website about Bitcoin or crypto, you will see there's a new tech that you didn't even expect can happen.
Yeah.
So it's all. I mean, there's always place for people to learn, and I think now we are having more resources, and I think people are more aware, and there's that education is important, and there's a need for that. Because crypto and Bitcoin is not only about making money; it's about a whole industry that is shaping our future.
Oh, you said that very well. I love that. I actually already love this episode because we have just in the first 10 minutes so many good sentences that should be, you know, printed on posters. I'm really standing behind the idea that you say it's not about profit only. You know, it's really reshaping the world. You know? And we talk with about that with a lot of people inside the Miningrace community as well. A lot of people are on board because they understand the benefits of decentralization of the world. And what I'm actually really proud of is that we put education first.
Yeah.
With Miningrace, we talk a lot about Bitcoin, a lot about blockchain, a lot about all of this and decentralization before we even talk about an opportunity to make money in it, right?
Yes, yes, for sure. I mean, also, like, I'd like to highlight a point that I've seen, maybe I'm wrong, you might have more data on it, is the involvement of women in crypto. Obviously, I've seen increase, but when I started in 2017, you're literally the first person I met who in the industry.
Yeah.
There was no woman in crypto, I felt, until, of course, we met through work and a different opportunity. But of course, I saw your energy and everything, and I love how you're directing this energy now in education. Can you tell us more about women in crypto Arabia?
Yeah, I agree with you. When we started, or at that time, there were
Yeah.
like really very few women. Even when I used to attend events, global events, the women participation was like very, very low at that time.
Yeah.
But I noticed also a difference after during COVID and when the NFTs started, because women are more visual somehow.
Yeah.
So that opened a window for more women basically to get on board. And I noticed the difference pre-COVID and after COVID
Interesting.
in the women participation and
Yeah.
in the events I used to attend.
Yeah.
Still, the participation for women is still low. I mean, the global now, how many the global out of the global population? There's 8%, let's say, out of the global
Yeah.
population who holds
I'll say
crypto.
max. Yeah.
Yeah.
Max.
Around 33% of that is women. Before it was 1%, and now we are 33%,
Okay,
which
so
is
there's a massive.
which is a very good improvement, but still there's a long way to go.
Yeah.
So what happened is that because I work in this domain, people, especially in Dubai, the first thing people will ask you, what do you do for a living, or what do you do in Dubai?
Of course, that's Dubai.
And when I answer I work in crypto, it's always like, oh really? And they start to have big questions. So usually when it's a woman who asks me this question, she would say, oh really, it's so complicated, I don't understand it, or I've heard about Bitcoin more, but my husband is investing, or my son, or I think it's too complicated. And I'm always like, why don't you do it? It's like, I don't get the idea. Like, why do you still count on someone else for your financial independence, or for you to learn something new?
Sure, yeah.
So I started basically with a very small group, like my neighbors, my friends. I started educating them, the teenagers in the family, whoever I can find, just to see if I'm interested in that as well or not. If I'm interested in giving information, and because it's a learning process for me and for other people as well. I learned more also from the questions, and there was basically a really interesting demand on that. And this is how I started Women in Crypto Arabia. Now I have a community. It's a small community, around 100, 150 women, but they are very active investors, and they are very really, I would say they are very niche, because if you think about it, based on the numbers that we mentioned, three out of 100 women, they actually in the world, they own crypto. So this is like, I assume that this percentage now, like I have part of it, is something great.
Yeah, I mean, this is in our region, right? In the US, I've realized there's a lot more women involved, especially with now banks trying to onboard crypto, even in the, what is it, the parliament or whatever they call it, Trump's administration, there's many females who are leading the, with crypto, and
it has changed a lot. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's still something that, as we can see, needs support. We can see that in Germany as well, where they had a TV show talking about Bitcoin and crypto, and they had this one woman there in the discussion of all these men. And she's known for the name of I think Madame Crypto. So that's a point where we still can see, oh, it's something special that she's a woman in crypto. So they already give her the name Madame Crypto, right? And but I think it's really changing right now, because if I take a look at who I'm following, maybe on X, there's a lot of female crypto influencers right now who are doing the best job, you know. But coming from the point where I think the financial industry has been such a, you know, a man dominated thing, and crypto and Bitcoin was connected to the financial industry, so that's where we're coming from. But we are luckily seeing the change right now.
Yeah, true. I mean, the crypto domain is a combination between tech and finance, and both were male-dominated for a very, very long time. And yeah, I agree with you. I'm happy to see more women basically get involved, and I think education is very important again. But also, women tend to be better investors over time than men. That's another thing that more people don't know about. They are more cautious at the beginning. They take their time to start basically investing, but once they do it properly, and they have more patience than men.
I was going to say the key word is patience.
Yeah,
I have none of that.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I've seen like people. I think also like regardless of gender, I think the person who is committed to learning and developing, and it's a continuous learning journey, I think they will end up with better results than people who just want quick money and they just want something fast, or follow someone who's telling them buy this or sell that without any background as well. So
yeah. So I think we can hold the point that the idea is anybody who has the patience and long-term vision can be a lot more successful than somebody who has not these points. But women may come better equipped in these kind of things than we do usually.
Yes.
I can see that. Yes,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, but since we already have you here, you know, right now this is a real story. I have a friend. She is, you know, doing in finance, her job in finance for quite a long time. She has invested a larger amount in Bitcoin mining to become more timely independent from what she's working on.
Very smart.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Oh, she's very smart. And now she wants to really fully disconnect from the job. She has to work these hours and go out there and educate people. She said to me, this is her dream. She want to go out, travel, and educate people. But at the same time, she told me, well, I don't have all the information. Do you think she can start like almost the same journey than you did with education? Go out and do it from not having all the knowledge?
I think what matters is to be authentic and real. Not to promote something that you don't have. This is what I say. So whatever she has, she can start with that, whatever kind of knowledge, but she should be also transparent about it. Like, I'm an expert in 1, 2, 3, but not in 1, 2, 3, or without saying what she's not expert at, but at least to start with what she knows at the beginning, not to promote bigger than what she can offer. I don't know. I believe in really being authentic and real in everything we do, and I can see if someone is trying to sell me something that they cannot do. So I think the success will come from that point. She will definitely learn over time. Again, as I said, there's like we all started somewhere. Nobody started from being at the top, you know, and it is a continuous learning journey. But if she wants to start, of course, that would be a great thing with whatever knowledge she has. But it should be more authentic and just like to promote whatever she is offering and whatever she knows, not to fake it.
Yeah, I agree on that. And we also had the talk before that you know, it's okay to say I don't know that.
100%. You know, being transparent.
Exactly.
Is key.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Also wanted to highlight a point that you might not know about, but of course I follow you on social media. So you have the 365 days crypto challenge.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a long time. 365 is not easy.
That's
like
1 year.
we do the podcast once a week, and it's a headache, right? So set up the cameras, the mics, and we're new to this, obviously. But I always knew and felt that you wanted to do it because you've mentioned it a few years back.
Yes.
But maybe time didn't help, or you're busy. But then now you thought, no, it's time, right?
Yeah.
What made you think of this idea?
Oh, well, a couple of things. First, I wanted to create content, but I wanted it to be in Arabic because, first of all, there's a lack of the Arabic content online. We have around 500 million Arabic speakers globally, and 1 to 2% of the online content is in Arabic. So, and if you take part of that which educates people about finance, crypto, or blockchain, you will see that it's way lower. It's a fraction of this content. So I always thought about it that I want to do something, but I never found the idea. because I wanted something very challenging, you know. So,
I see.
so I put
That's it.
myself out there. I'm gonna do 365 days crypto challenge in Arabic. Every day I share a video, starting from the basics. So the first video was the story of Bitcoin, and then the money, and then inflation, and then all of these things. So this is what
Well,
I'm
you really
doing
started at the roots.
at the root, and I am continuing with that. And actually today I was writing the scripts for the coming month, which is like last 10 days of March, because I plan ahead. And I was thinking, what's next? You know, I don't want to talk about DeFi. I think it's still early, and so on. But anyway, it's quite interesting. I got really interesting feedback on people on social media. I was just telling him that I just started like a couple of weeks ago. And I realized today I have on Facebook, I have like 1,800 followers, and I have the same number on Instagram. It's all organic. Also on TikTok. So I think it's good. There are so many interesting questions that people ask. And so many people ask me, like, can you send us more resources? What's next? And they ask me interesting questions. So I think there's a huge demand for that as well. And most of the Arabic content that is available, or most of the people who talk about crypto, they are all the time selling crypto or promoting a meme coin or promoting whatever. And I don't want that. Again, I believe in being authentic and being real. I don't want to tell people to spend their money somewhere and then they lose it. You know, I'll feel bad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just don't want that, you know. So I'm very like cautious also about whatever I say in this series. So so you can follow crypto with Zena.
I'm very interested about that. So let me and maybe the viewers even follow you on your Instagram. So how do I write that?
Just crypto with Zena.
Crypto with Zena, and that is Z-I-N-A.
Yes,
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe I rename my account.
Okay, we need
That's
the whole.
I'll take a percentage from this inspiration in Bitcoin.
See, this is how you do it.
So we need all the mining race community to follow her, especially the ladies, right? Women in crypto, right? So
no, this is not for women in crypto. This is for
Yeah, but
everyone. That's the
general.
thing. Yeah, I have.
Crypto with Zena. Thank you. I love that. Yeah, I'm also trying to spread education on my social media. I don't want to plug it here or anything. And it's not necessary. It's a little bit of the same story. It's in German, right? And Germany also has a problem with crypto, not because of the same problems that is in the Arabic area, but because people feel more cautious about crypto because it's not being supported by the country or anything. We see a huge difference to what we're seeing here in the UAE.
I mean, UAE is different in all levels. You know, we have to agree on that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to bring just the basic idea of them, of calculating risk in a new way, because it's a new way of thinking in Bitcoin than it is in fiat money. And if they probably right now with the Bitcoin price feeling some kind of, they're scared and maybe feeling a bigger risk. And I think, and this is what I said in the last video, that it actually doesn't matter the situation of the price if we remember ourselves why we came into Bitcoin, and that is fundamentals, and if as long and as they stay the same, this phase like now with the Bitcoin price dropping for 40% or something should not really matter.
Yeah,
Do
it
you
could be
agree
an
on that?
opportunity actually. Of course, of course. I mean, what people lack is that the knowledge, and there's a way when you look at the market. Like a couple of weeks ago, we had the fastest drop, 50% drop in Bitcoin price. That is the fastest time this happens, 50% in less than 4 months. It never happened before.
Yes.
Even when we had the FTX collapse, it took 6 months for Bitcoin price to
if
drop
not
50%.
longer, you're right.
So most of the people in my community, they would send me, Zina, what about Bitcoin? What do we do now? And they started to panic and our assets and whatever. Then I said, you know what, let's have this call, because I just want to see where they stand, you know. And the point is that you view the drop in the price of Bitcoin based on how do you see yourself. If you see yourself that you are here for quick gains and quick profits, and you bought Bitcoin at the 125K, then of course you will feel bad about it. But if you feel that, if your goal is basically, if you are an investor and you're looking long term, and your goal is to accumulate a certain number of Bitcoins over a certain number of years, believing that it will reach X price, let's say in 2030 or 2035, then this will be an opportunity for you. You'll be happy that this happened, and you have a chance to basically get more Bitcoin.
We were celebrating.
Exactly. With less amount. So that's the idea. So I think it's a perception, and that's why I think education matters, because one of the things that I really emphasize on, like even yesterday I had the episode, it was about, are you a trader or an investor? if you are following this journey, you should know yourself where do you stand, because your expectations from the markets, from whatever I will share, will be different. And same for the Bitcoin price and other assets as well.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. Like you could say the chart is basically a mirror of yourself, or how do you think
Exactly,
about it?
exactly,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
very nice that you said
Yeah.
that. Yes, but also you said we had this 50% drop in the 4 month, the first time ever. I want to highlight that there's another thing that happened for the first time ever. You know that Bitcoin, it took 8 years to reach a $10,000 price point. You know? And now we had the price moving $10,000 up again in one day. So that is also a first thing that ever happened for Bitcoin. If we think about that price of $10,000 going up, like from 60 to 71 or something it was in one day, that is also a huge milestone hidden in this, correction.
Yes, yes, that's for sure. I mean, things move fast. Even the cycles are not the same. We cannot say that we have a super cycle or any kind of cycle for Bitcoin anymore. We are still observing the market. We are still looking at how the market reacts to certain news, to when in comparison to other stocks as well. Like before, we had a really good correlation between Nasdaq and between Bitcoin, but it disappeared for a while, and I think now we're getting back there. So we are still observing basically the cycles, observing the market, and we are still, like, even the top investors and experts, they don't know what to expect next for the short term, for example.
Sure.
So this is very normal, and
Yeah, I mean, but where do you really see crypto heading? Like, I'll tell you what I think. I believe that now with the adoption that we have on a global scale, Dubai, as we know, is adopting Bitcoin, and even licensing companies, making everything look transparent and legal. So there is demand, as we understand. We also have countries adopting and treasuries, and then with the US, especially, we're waiting for the Clarity Act, I believe, right? Which is hopefully in 2-3 months, maybe earlier. Hopefully. They keep canceling it, right? So
they keep postponing.
yeah, there's two parties who don't agree, but eventually we'll have a winner, and I believe this administration is probably Bitcoin pro in that sense, so it could go through. Once this goes through, there's a huge adoption and demand for Bitcoin, and that fear element that people have will just disappear for maybe a few years. Do you believe that there is manipulation happening now because big whales don't want to buy Bitcoin at 100K? So do you think there's manipulation in the market?
That is a possibility. There are always, I mean, so many manipulations happened even in the traditional market. So of course it will happen in this market as well. We cannot pinpoint that this event happened because of market manipulation. It might be one of the things that affected the market. But of course, I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, how Bitcoin it is, and how the limited supply and it's permissionless. There are so many elements about Bitcoin that makes it very attractive. I personally don't like the institutional adoption. Personally, I don't know why. I think it defies the purpose of Bitcoin. But again, it encouraged so many people basically to invest in Bitcoin. The ETFs encourage people who don't care about owning the underlying asset as well. So it gave space for more people to invest and to take part in the Bitcoin market. However, it's not the perfect scenario, in my opinion, of how we wanted things to be.
Of course,
but there's something really interesting I want to tell you. I read something yesterday.
Yeah, please.
But this is very exciting to me. I wrote a note about it. So there is a growing idea that the autonomous AI agents may start using Bitcoin as their preferred money because it's permissionless, secure, and works globally without needing human IDs or banks. So basically, it is the simplest and most reliable way for machines to pay each other. So if you look at this conversation, you will see that Bitcoin is no longer a human affair, It's not only us there.
We're doomed.
I'm so
if you are talking about the 21 million, with if you're trying to, take the number of people with the 21 million, you have AI agents now.
No, let's count the servers, right?
That you need to take into consideration. So this is amazing. This is crazy.
It's really amazing.
This is very interesting, and this is the conversations that are happening between the AI agents.
I'm so happy that you're bringing this up, because this is a topic that really just a few people have on their radar right now. This is the most interesting thing happening.
You're ahead of the games.
You are.
And very interesting. I was like, okay, so how will AI agents get Bitcoin? I was thinking about, okay, let's assume that they will do that. How will they do it? And they will actually offer services like writing content, selling data. This is what they will. This is what
autonomously.
They will do. Yeah, exactly. That's the point. So this is just
And if you want to
amazing.
go
So we
extreme,
have higher competition on the
Yeah.
21 million bitcoins,
Yeah,
which is plus the ones that are missing.
so extreme.
And it's already happening. I
Yeah.
think what we see right now is this thing, the Mold book, the Claude bots, and these things, these autonomous agents. This is the very famous.
The religion, you mean the one that they just
yeah,
created?
exactly.
Yeah, they create the religion.
But they also, you know,
So now they have an economy, and it's
We have another world, you know?
yeah, and they call it, you know, the meta space, and now they call these bots call our world the meat space.
Ah, okay, interesting.
And
Yeah,
they developed that. But one very interesting thing happened there. There was a website created that you know, they could rent humans for work. So there's actually autonomous agents listing jobs for humans that they cannot do, and they put on top of this website. So basically, we are better at strategy. You are better at having arms. So please go out and do this and this job. You get paid in Bitcoin. This is what already happened like
Yes,
some weeks
yeah.
ago.
It's
Yeah?
amazing. I
Yes.
think this is amazing. So we have
Yeah.
more competition
I'm
again.
so happy you brought that up because it's so interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
It's
Yeah,
funny. It comes to like in a way, a full circle that AI will be, you know, using Bitcoin as an economy between them at least.
Exactly.
Because it started, Bitcoin was first used with gaming, you know, so back in 2010 till 2012. So gamers used to, like we discussed in the previous podcast, that will buy skins or swords within the game
Yeah.
through Bitcoin, right? So that was the in-game economy. So it started from that, and you know, which was pure digital, you know, peer-to-peer digital gaming, to now really Web3
Yes.
type of, you know,
Going back into the digital world fully, into these autonomous agents.
exactly. So
Full circle.
so
Yeah.
get into Bitcoin before AI takes it.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah, right. So
Mine Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, whatever way, DCA.
yeah.
Don't miss out.
Stats.
We have higher competition now with we don't even know how many agents are there. You know, that's the
Yeah,
idea.
so
We
true.
cannot just
It's gonna
address
be,
it.
it's gonna be more every day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but since we have like a very interesting person here with you today, actually very happy with the topics you brought us today. I have a very important questions for the viewers out there. Is there an advice, like a general advice from you could
Yeah.
give to a person that is just starting with crypto, starting with Bitcoin, that has no clue but wants to start?
Of course, there are so many advices. Where do I start?
Yeah.
Pick your favorite two or three.
I'd say first learn. Like the first step is to learn. There are so many resources out there. There are so many people who would like to share their knowledge. So at least
We have
learn the
these books as
basics.
well,
And
helps.
yeah, exactly. And books, Faisal's books, they're amazing. Like seriously.
Yeah.
And the first one, the crypto and chill, it's super simple. So
Yeah.
anyone can just read it and understand at least the basics. Why do we need crypto? Why do we need Bitcoin? What is decentralization? How does blockchain work in a very simple way? So when they start investing, they know what they are investing in. They can choose. Are they investing in Bitcoin, something that will last? They look for like long term. Are they looking for something short term? Is this a layer 1 project, layer 2? They need to understand simple things. And one important aspect that people don't know about is basically the safety of how to keep your crypto assets safe. This is something extremely important because so many people, they actually start learning, they buy their first asset and then they click on a link, they do something, they lose it, they don't keep their paraphrases
Yeah,
in a-
paraphrases is
in a
important.
safe place. So to keep your crypto safe is another thing that you should learn about before you actually buy any crypto assets. People don't understand that leaving your, let's say, your Bitcoin on Binance is not the same as having them on a cold wallet. It's completely different. People lose money because of these things, because they don't
Oh, yeah.
understand. Like, still Binance is a centralized exchange.
Yeah.
If something happens to Binance, I'm not shaming Binance, just
Yeah.
any centralized exchange.
Any sense.
Yeah. It's an
Any centralized-
example. Yeah.
Just an example.
Yeah.
I know if anything happens to that exchange, you might lose your assets. And we've seen actually some kind of control from exchanges on certain wallets in certain regions and certain places based on political reasons.
Yeah.
So, and this again against the crypto, why we want crypto, and which I hate. Like the
Against
crypto,
the-
I hate
Yeah. Against the full idea of it.
So you need. So
Yeah.
my advice is know what you're doing. Just
Yeah.
have simple knowledge, and if you start with very small amount. The nice thing about crypto, you can just start with $100, $50, whatever amount. Just start somewhere, you know. And opportunity is also like Miningrace, you know, the
Yeah.
app. It gives people very easy and simple access to Bitcoin mining that otherwise they would have gone in a different way, and
Yeah.
it would take it. They will to require for them to invest more and put more time and expect also higher returns, which they will not get on a short time frame, and they will be disappointed after that. So I think there are so many solutions out there. There are great options like Miningrace, and to educate themselves. This is what I.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
Great advice.
Bitcoin needs to be decentralized and live in a decentralized ecosystem. You know, the minute it goes to a centralized world, it's out of your control. You have literally, you have access, but then, like you said, a centralized point. The issue is
Exactly.
overnight you wake up, well, your KYC was not approved because you're
Oh.
from this country. It's like, well, I was born, like, what can I do? I'm from this country. You know, I can't help it. Well, your money's gone. Thank you, bye, you know. But if, you know, the whole idea of Bitcoin needs to remain decentralized, and Miningrace is the only Bitcoin mining platform that is pure decentralized. There are, you know, many services. You
100%.
can go online and people mine for you and they send you money every few months and goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it definitely works different. So I'm glad that we're all on the decentralized
Yeah.
train, you could say.
Yeah.
Any last words from Zena about
Any more questions?
predictions? Anything exciting? You gave us the AI thing. That was exciting.
Ah,
But before your last words, I just have to say, as happy as we are to be part of this safe environment that
Yeah.
you know supports decentralization at the root, which is the mining, we are as happy to have you as a guest today. You just bringing huge knowledge to this podcast, and also a female representative of the crypto world, and I love that. So,
Yeah.
any last words from you?
No, thank you for having me, and I think it's a very interesting journey that we are at now together. It's great times to be actually like to see, to witness all of this happening and actually help in shaping this. So I think this is a great opportunity for all of us and for the people who are watching as well.
Thank you, Zina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. See
Bye.
you in the next
See you.
episode.